In this video, I'll be covering UFC 256 after the weightings. This is Figueiredo versus Moreno. Guys, I'll be doing in this video mostly like a wrap-up of what I've seen in the weightings and how I'm betting this card. If you're interested in the fights breakdowns, I have two other videos which you guys can take a look into. I'll be just breaking briefly down some of fights that I didn't comment on those videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you do, please like, subscribe. Let me just show to everyone the results up until this month. In this part, I'll be covering with a little bit more detail. Alright, so an extra minute here. So these are basically, guys, some metrics that I'm taking, right? So in the column C, you guys see everything that I'm betting, and this in this amount risk, it means the percentage of money that I'm risking on each card. Alright, this is the return, and after that I have the profit. Okay, this event, it's per event. So let me say that I'm in this event, I bet 42% of my money. It came to 23%, so I lost almost 20% of my money in total. But in terms of the percentages that this represents against this, I lost 45%. In this particular event here, I bet 20% of my money. I got nearly 80% of the total money in return, and this was nearly 300% profit in one event. But in the overall total money, it was 60%, right? So this is what it means. Here I have the right picks in percentage, you know, so I'm adding up to 65% in the other columns. So I bet up until this point nearly three times the money that I started with. I got back 90%, so I have 66% of return of investment from July. So this is, if I sum up all of these columns, which is the event, the profit per event, or the loss, right? So it's 384%. In here, this is my average peak rate, so 65%. In terms of bet, when I bet the juice, I'm adding up to 65%, so quite near here, interesting. When I'm betting the dog, I have only 35%. But you guys remember that the dog usually has more value on the returns, plus there is always the weight that I put on each dog, you know, so you guys can also take a look into that, and for that it has to be per event. And then I'm also breaking down here in high, medium, and low confidence. So when you guys see in the spreadsheet, when it's yellow it means it's medium, when it's red it means it's low, and then when it's green, there's no green here, but when it's green means it's a high level of bet, let's put it this way. And this is how it's adding up on each percentage. In here I have also separating charts, so it becomes more visual, and how I did on each month. All right, and this percentages here are from the betting money that I started, you know. So if you guys add up this one, gonna be here, this is charts representing that. All right, and this is just a simplified chart that I'm mostly showing only this one to make things quicker. So there you guys have it, what my wrap up until this month. So let me talk about this card after the weightings, guys. So some fights interesting. When I made the videos, I haven't broken down Mackenzie, Dern versus Virna, Jandiroba. Guys, for this fight is interesting because both of these girls, they are very good BJJ players. I give a small edge to Mackenzie, Dern, but only if Dern is from top. If Jandiroba is from the top, Jandiroba has the advantage. All right, both of these girls are elite BJJ players. Why I'm betting Jandiroba here, even though I'm picking Mackenzie, Dern, because I think Jandiroba has good wrestling and Dern has 0% takedown defense, because she doesn't care about, you know, defending, because she's so good from her back. But like I'm saying, against Jandiroba, I'm not sure that she's gonna, you know, really have too much success from her back. But why I'm picking Dern? Because Dern has the better hands, she has way more power. Jandiroba exposes herself pretty much, so I see that Dern can land some powerful shots and maybe finish Jandiroba on the ground. But I'm giving some value on Jandiroba, and I think this line is very good to bet. I'm betting 2% of my money. We have Swanson versus Pineda, another fight that I didn't break down. This is a close fight to me, guys. I think Pineda looked way better in the weighting, so I'm a little bit concerned with this bet, but still it's only 1.5% of my money, so I'm still thinking that it's a good bet on Cub. I like Cub striking better. Cub on the ground from the top, the guy on the top gonna have that advantage. Pineda looks a little bit stronger, you know, physically at this point in his career, but Swanson is no slouch Swanson has good takedown defense, so I see him being able to stuff those takedowns. Even if he loses the first round, I think he's gonna pick it up from the second. By the way, Cub Swanson and a live bet is an awesome bet, so take a look into that as well. But I think most likely it's Swanson circling, landing more, and being able to stuff takedowns. Chase Hooper versus Peter Barrett. I was tempted to bet Barrett, sorry. And the line didn't climb how much I could. Now there was money on Barrett. I understand why. If you want to hear the breakdown, go to the prelims video. But I'm not betting this fight. Jin Liang Lee versus Dwight Grant. This fight has been cancelled, so I'll be removing from here. Spivak versus Vandeira also has been cancelled. Figueiredo versus Moreno. I'm parlaying Figueiredo less than 1% of my money. I think he's a good favorite, but the line is quite steep. I like it actually, Moreno's attitude on the weightings. If you guys hear my breakdown, I was expecting that Moreno comes emotional to this fight. I didn't see that. So Moreno has a good chance if he can bring his technique, if he can mix it up, if he can, you know, survive the first round. So Moreno by decision, actually I have a bet on Moreno by decision. It's plus 500. I think it's a very good bet. If you want to take that, consider it. It's here, you know. So I got exactly this bet and I'm putting here. Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson. Oliveira looked better on the weightings than I was expecting. You could consider a bet on Oliveira. I'm not going to be doing it, but you know, there is maybe some value here. I wouldn't bet Ferguson because I'm not sure he's going to be at his best. You know, at his best, Ferguson should win the fight, but I'm not sure he's going to be this way. Moicano versus Fiziev. Both looked good on the weightings. Actually, Moicano now is at plus 140. Actually, I'm gonna be taking a bet on Moicano, guys. I'm gonna be doing 1% of my money only. I think Fiziev is looking, you know, pretty impressive in his last fights. But Moicano is a tough guy himself, good range, and if he brings to the ground, he has a massive advantage. So I'm giving some chance to Moicano here. That's why I'm gonna be taking a bet on him. Okay, so I'm expecting to get 2.5% of that. So I'm picking and betting the dog in this one. Kevin Holland versus Jacare. Guys, this was an interesting one. This is, I think Jacare looked way better on the weightings. Actually, there was so much money coming on him, and I don't know. Maybe should take a bet on Souza too. I took a bet when he was at plus 140. It was 2% of my money. I talked about that in the breakdown. Actually, I mentioned plus 170, but here in the spreadsheet it was it's a bet. I got this bet. So, or just pass this fight, guys. I don't think anyone should bet Holland at this point because, you know, he looked quite skinny. He's a skinny guy, you know, super tall, of course, Lancy, but he looked way skinnier than I was expecting. It was quite weird. Maybe I didn't pay much attention to the previous fight. JDS versus Cyril Gain. I like JDS on the weightings. I took a bet on him with 2% of my money. I'm not too hoping too much on this bet, but still, I think there is value on JDS. I think he can maybe fight a slow-paced fight against a Gain. He can even land 1 or 2 big shots, impress the judges, you know. There is some chance. Don't rule JDS out of this. Gavin Turker versus Billy Quarantillo. Guys, there are so many people that were commenting that Quarantillo gonna win this fight. I rewatched. It could be closer than what I said, you know. I think I overlooked a little bit Quarantillo. But, so I maybe would change this to low instead of medium, and since I did this already, and in respect to everyone, I'll keep this as a median. And I have 3% of my money on Tucker. I think I like Tucker on the weightings. Quarantillo didn't look bad either. The thing here and why I'm betting Tucker, I think Tucker fixed his cardio issues that he presented against Rick Glenn. And yeah, if he brings his best game, guys, he can win this fight. You know, he's faster, he's stronger. Quarantillo is a tough guy, don't get me wrong. He's gonna come inside, and Tucker can struggle a little bit, especially if Quarantillo comes from the top. But I'm thinking that Tucker gonna move his feet quickly. He's gonna land more shots. He's gonna be able to avoid the takedowns. He can take Quarantillo down himself from the top. Tucker has advantage, as does Billy from the top. So either guy taking top has advantage. Quarantillo is not the best wrestler in the world. He can wrestle a little bit. He's tough. He pushes guys there, but still, I think it's kind of back and forth, you know. So I'm still gonna be riding with Tucker. I'm gonna be have a bet on Tucker. I'm also keeping as the same as I was accounting for, like when he was at minus 120. So at a pick on level, I bet Tucker. I'm gonna be keeping here, but if you have a bet now on Turkey plus 150, I think it's a good bet for you. All right. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Again, if you did, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next videos. Until there, this is Rodder My Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.